It's chilly out. Yeah, I didn't like it. So I've been getting some mild criticism on my channel, and it's mostly of one type. You know, there are trolls and whatnot, but I enjoy those. It's like you're a masochist, you know, and it's not the correct way to train, and you'd get better results if you did it like this, push pull legs, or yada yada yada, or pick your favorite. It doesn't matter, you know. And I just wanted to say that I know that you're right. You're 100% correct. I know you're and I'm not a masochist. I'm not. Or if I'm a masochist, this isn't why. Like, there are days where not every day, but there are days where this is the only thing that I do in a day that I enjoy. Like, and we all have days like that, you know? But like, this is my sanctuary. This is my source of solace. I've been working out every day for well over a year now. I haven't been squatting every day. And when I first decided I was going to do this, it was because I wanted some kind of buy-in for my day, you know? That like, if I have to do a bunch of work, I have to do a bunch of stuff, I have to commit some time to myself first for my personal things, my personal interests. And it was a pretty good strategy. It worked really well. But somewhere along the way in the first couple months, a switch got pulled in my head. And now it would be painful for me not to come down here, you know? Like, I mean, maybe I'm making it more complicated than it needs to be, but like, it's a habit now. It's a habit, and for me to not do it, that would be suffering, you know? And I'm not suggesting I'm not trying to convert anyone. I'm not suggesting you should do things my way. In fact, I'm confident my way's not a good way. Like, I'm fully confident about it. If you have an athletic goal that you're working towards, do not do what I'm doing. Don't. Straight up, don't. I'm not down here for that. My athletic goals, I have some. I don't give a shit if I achieve them ever. Not at all. I am down here for mental health reasons, you know? Mostly. And I'm vain, just like everybody else. I like to look in shape, what have you, you know? So like two birds, one stone, you know? But that's not why I'm here. Like, I'm here because I love this, A, and B, I need it. Like, in order to be a good human being to the people I love in my life and in my community, I need to do this. Like, you know, it's squat every day. But if I'm really honest, most days it's twice a day. Like, I'm sick, and I gotta take my medicine. I gotta take it once a day at minimum, and I got another pill that I take as needed. Sometimes there have been days where it's 3. Yeah, and that's not good for progress. That's not good for an athlete, not really. But it's good for my brain, you know? So today, I'm gonna squat. I'm gonna try out my new minimum. I might do front squats. I don't know. It's up in the air a little bit. And I'm gonna do some goofy lifts. I wanna do the one hand snatch. I wanna do some pistol squat drills. I wanna work on my suitcase deadlift, I think it's an Arthur Saxon press behind the back, and my one shoulder squat. Now, I might not show all those. In fact, that seems like a lot of filming. But maybe I'll show you the highlights. We'll see. Hey, I love you guys. Stay tuned. Squats coming up. So after going on and on about the pseudo-wisdom tradition of squatting every day, I was working up to my daily minimum. You see it on the bar here, 170. That's what DM means. it occurred to me that today might be dynamic effort day. I couldn't remember when I did it last, and I looked at my handy dandy notebook. I'm a day late. I've been so consistently just intuitively knowing when dynamic effort day is that I started taking it for granted, and I was a day late. That was the 170. It felt great. Today my legs, despite my usual complaints, felt strong and good. I decided to break one of my rules. I jumped up 10 pounds instead of 5 because I wanted to do 135. And honestly, I didn't want to rack all those little weights. I was feeling lazy. So the point of this, and next week I'm going to film it non-time lapse so that we can talk through it a little better. But the point of this is to take something in the ballpark of 30% to 70% of your 1 rep max. Do 10 sets of 2. I like every minute on the minute. It doesn't have to be that quick, but it should be minimal rest period. And you try to get as much speed under the bar as you can. And you'll probably notice I only did 8 sets today. I typically aim for 10. And the reason, while this weight felt good and strong, and I definitely got some really good speed reps in, they were not as fast as my subjective measure would like. I was not generating enough speed. And my rule is, if I'm not getting fast under the bar, I stop, you know? So next week, I'm going to do 10 sets of 3 at a lower weight, build up again, then switch to 10 sets of 2 at a higher weight, and see if I can get somewhere. All in all, this was a really good squat day. My legs felt sore and achy, but strong. All right, now we're just getting a look at some silly stuff I've been working on. It was dynamic effort day, which is equal parts exhausting in that it fries your nervous system and also just kind of not enough work. So I thought I'd go back to my old-timey strongman stuff for today and just do some of the weird lifts I like. And really, it was a great session. And I've kind of allowed myself to forget how much I enjoy this. This is that, I'm calling it the Klein Twister, where you, with straight legs, a bar extended overhead. Oh yeah, this is my first time with the barbell. I did it with kettlebells before. A lot harder. That was 45 pounds. I warmed up beforehand. Pretty strenuous, pretty intense. But, and next, I put a couple coasters on the end. So now we got 50 pounds. And I do the same thing. And this is all like a pseudo warm-up for the one-arm snatch, which I'll be doing in just a minute here. Yeah, it's really humbling to look at this. Why I like the barbell for these movements, they're so awkward anyway, that then having to stabilize the wrist with the barbell overhead really helps you close the neurological chain. Like, you don't have to worry about breathing and bracing because you literally can't move unless you're breathing and bracing perfectly. And I love stuff like that. I love movements where it overrides your body's optional systems, you know? Not like, hey, if we're gonna do this, you're going to do what I say. I'm not going to do what you say. You know, that would be the body communicating with me. And it's really cool. If you haven't played around with lifts like this, and there's literally thousands of them, I highly recommend it. You know, maybe this one isn't your cup of tea. Fair enough. Oh, here we are at 55 pounds, a PR. I should have put tags on there. And woo! Man, it got iffy in that bottom position. It got real iffy. You can see my elbow buckle just a little bit. Yeah, like, you can hunt through old-timey strongman lifts and you will find one that's got your name on it and you're gonna love it. My favorite is the one I do next after this other side, which is the one arm snatch. Just get a weight overhead any way you can. You know, there really are no rules. Like, from the ground, overhead, one movement. However, you know, unlike an Olympic weightlifting snatch where technique is super rigid, really precise and really perfected, this one is going to vary enormously body to body. Now, probably it could be optimized, and probably structures and training methods and technique coaching could happen, but nobody's doing that. My first reps I'm doing with a closed stance, and I'm trying to use as little body English as possible. By body English, I mean some of the stuff I just listed, you know, like very little hip drive, very little foot movement, not trying to scooch under the bar very much. I am using the hand on the other leg, but that's to reinforce that when the weights get heavier. Because I've found from personal experience that if I do my warm-up sets without bracing against the opposing leg, I really set myself up for failure. This is 75, I think. And then I move on to 80. Now, 75 I have pretty comfortably. 80's quite a bit uglier. You wouldn't think that would be the case. But yeah, that moved great. I mean, that was really easy. The other arm is more problematic, my left hand. Oh yeah, and I put the 80, I tried 80 for 2, and I put that on my YouTube shorts. So if you're interested in seeing that, you'll have to go there. I didn't put it on here. It was 2 all or nothing. It was just for sport. It wasn't part of my daily training, really. I had a wild hair across my ass, and I wanted to do something goofy. Anyway, this is Joe in real life. I love you guys. Be good to each other today, okay?